So my team compiled a list of frequently asked questions in my comment section around CAT exam, MBA, or even my life. So here I am answering all of those questions in a video, and hopefully some of your doubts will get cleared in the process and you will find it useful. And meanwhile, if you want more questions after this to be answered, you can put them in the comment section. I'll be happy to make a part 2 of this video. So in case you're new here, I'm Ananta Chhajer, MBA graduate from IIM Ahmedabad, 2021 batch, scored a 99.91 CAT percentile, and since the last 2 years making content around CAT preparation and MBA. So in case you have not subscribed yet, do consider subscribing to the channel and let's start this. So how early should I start my CAT preparation? Expected question, especially if you're someone from CAT 2026 or CAT 2027 aspirant, then I would say it differs across people obviously. However, for an average student, 10 to 12 months is an ideal time. It's a sweet spot, and maybe 15-16 months maximum if you want to start early as well. However, if you want to start even before that, I would say go for the fundamentals first. That is, develop a reading habit by reading a lot of stuff, books, newspaper, whatever you get your hands on. Try to solve Sudoku to develop critical thinking, solve puzzles to develop logical thinking. So try to create those kind of fundamental aspects. Don't just jump into theory because you don't want to burn yourself out before you hit that peak period. Is 2 months enough to crack CAT examination? I get this question every year, and the idea is you need to define what is cracking CAT for you. For someone it is 99 percentile, for someone it is 80 percentile, because you can get decent colleges at 80 percentile as well. But if it is 99 for you, I would say from this time, if your quant basics are clear, if you were reasonably good till class 10 maths, quant basics are clear, and you have to just focus on giving those final touches and you can practice through mocks and everything, then yes, 99 percentile is still possible. However, if your maths basics, the quant basics are not yet clear, your maths till class 10 was also not very good, then I would suggest you push for a 95 percentile by studying those selective topics. And I've made a lot of videos around these 3 months, 2 months strategy, so that you understand what are the focus areas that you can deep dive into, and that will help you be very selective and push for that 95 kind of a percentile, especially if you're an average student at this time. A different kind of a question: does everyone have a settled life after IIM Ahmedabad? So settled life means it's a very spiritual thing, I guess, a very mature thing to have. And the short answer is no, no one has a settled life, because everyone is aiming for a lot more than what they have already got. The one thing I would definitely say is the benchmarks have changed. For example, my friends still complain that they are not getting the right jobs, right opportunities outside in the market. There are very few jobs in the market, but the thing is, they are competing for those 50-60 LPA kind of a jobs. If they just agree for a 35 or a 40 LPA job, any company would be more than willing to roll out an offer for them. However, because the benchmark has been 50-60, most of my batchmates have started earning in that range, so that kind of becomes the average. And now, to be settled in life, you want to do more than that average. So the benchmark keeps moving, and because of that, I believe that settling in life becomes very subjective. But if you take the comparison out of this equation, I would say everyone does have a decent standard life, especially people who have changed their family's life completely. They don't have to think about food on their table at all now for generations, which is a great thing. And when I say this, believe me, those who have actually changed their family's life know the value of education. For someone like me, or for someone who has been privileged enough, maybe my starting salary did not change my family's lifestyle or my lifestyle to that extent. So that's why it might be very difficult for me to comment. But yes, I know people who have absolutely changed their family's life, and with this kind of a salary, as you grow, you can afford kind of small luxuries as well. You can afford one foreign vacation every year, you can afford very good education for your kids as well in the long term. So I believe, yes, it's a pretty standard decent life. You don't have to think about small things like these. But yes, if you keep comparing yourself with your peers, with your batchmates, you always want to have more and more salary, and upwards of 1 crore is a benchmark that everyone starts having very soon. Next, coming to CAT exam again, how many mocks should you appear for? And there's no stringent number for this. Ideally, everyone says 40-45 mocks, but it's about when you feel comfortable. Someone might feel comfortable after attempting 60-70 mocks, someone might feel comfortable after 20 mocks. So it's completely up to you. But the idea is, it's not only about attempting the mock, it's also about analyzing it well. So 2 hours of attempting the mock should be followed by at least 3 to 4 hours of analyzing it really, really well. So make sure you feel comfortable after attempting the mock and you feel more confident about the next one. So that's the idea. ideal number, 40-45 mocks for average students if you're starting very early. But even if you have attempted more than 20 mocks, you can crack the examination. There's no hard and fast rule like that. And before I go to the next question, let me tell you about the partners of this video as well. If you have already thought about preparing for CAT 2026, then Physics Wala have launched their CAT 2026 batches. And if you want to buy this, it might be a very good time to go because they are offering 50% discount on the occasion of Gandhi Jayanti. So Physics Wala is definitely very affordable, and on top of that, you're also getting a 50% discount. And it had pretty good results last year as well. 42 students had scored above 99 percentile. So there are these batches available now that you can choose from. MBA Core 2026, where you get live plus recorded classes, daily practice problems, mock tests, and 24/7 doubt support. Then there is MBA Pro 2026 batch, where in addition to all features in the Core 2026 batch, you get MBA Books module, one pass test series where you get 140 plus tests, Khazana videos, infinite practice questions, and GDPI and VAT support after results. And if you want the most exclusive package, there is MBA Infinity Pro 2026, where you get all the pro batch features along with CAT-like offline test series across 200 plus centers and 1:1 alumni mentorship. So if you want to check this out, the link is there in the description as well as in the pinned comment. You can check it out from there, and you can also use my coupon code ANA500 for an extra 500 rupees discount on these batches. So my salary after IIM Ahmedabad, I knew this was coming and you will put me on the spot, and I could have skipped this question, but I have spoken about it a number of times, but I'll still speak in terms of ranges because it's a very popular company that goes across IIM campuses still, and I don't want to reveal their exact salary. So my starting package was 35 lakh plus, and however, do remember it was the CTC. It included a huge joining bonus, almost a 6 lakh joining bonus was included here. So that's how the CTC was 35 lakh plus. And when I finally left my job, my CTC was upwards of 40 lakh, 40 LPA plus. But yes, do remember there was a huge change in terms of fixed salary, even if the CTC numbers were not that different, but there was a huge change in terms of fixed salary because of the joining bonus component that was there for first year only. It did not happen in the second, third year. So that's where the CTC kind of comes down. However, your fixed salary increases. But 40 plus LPA does not mean I'm earning 3 lakh or 3.5 lakh every month. Then there are taxes, then some of it is variable component as well that comes later during the month. So on an average, you can expect if you're tax planning, depending on your tax planning and everything, every month I would have been earning 2 to 2.5 lakh range, 2 to 2.5 lakhs per month I would be earning in terms of enhanced salary. Next, how to stay motivated during CAT preparation. Very, very difficult for some people, right? But let me tell this, motivation is very overrated. Discipline is underrated. Motivation can take you for a few days or maybe few weeks maximum, but it is the discipline that will take you through months. And for that, you have to create systems around you. You cannot just watch a video and be motivated. You have to create systems around you that keeps you disciplined. And I have spoken about it. Maybe I'll create another video around this as well, how you can stay disciplined throughout your CAT preparation. But in small points, if I have to mention, it's don't look at the entire syllabus of CAT as one deadline. However, create very small artificial deadlines for yourself across topics that, okay, this topic till this date, this topic till this date. And when you have those smaller deadlines in mind, then the preparation becomes very easy for you. If you have a one large deadline, one big deadline that you have in front of you, it becomes very difficult. So break down your preparation into small deadlines and into small topics. That will make it definitely very easy. At the same time, I would suggest you have some other systems created for yourself as well. For example, make yourself accountable to preparation. That is, suppose you have started preparation for CAT. Announce it to the world, announce to your family, announce to your friends that you are preparing for CAT, because that holds you accountable. In fact, when you start attempting the mocks, I will suggest you have a group of 5-10 friends at least who are attempting the CAT paper and share your mock scores with each other. That keeps you accountable. The tension, the fear that you have to share your CAT mock test marks with all your friends, and if you scored low, then that's kind of a guilt that you will develop. You will have that fear of being shamed if you scored low. So that keeps you accountable, and this fear is something that keeps you motivated throughout. But it's kind of a discipline that you develop, that okay, I know I have to score well in the next mock because I have to share my score with my friends. So that's why I have to study, I have to score well in the next mock, and you start taking your mock test seriously as well. So that's definitely another thing that you can do. Highest paying roles after MBA. So see, if I talk about the top performers in every field, then definitely investment banking ones, private equity, and consulting ones, especially those in McKinsey, BCG kind of companies, they definitely are at the top if I talk about the top performers in those companies. However, just remember, an average performer in finance will not be earning as much as a top performer in marketing domain. So that is the idea that you need to keep in mind. It's not only about finance pays very highly, so I'll just enter finance. You have to understand whether you like finance or not. If you become an average performer or below average performer in finance, then you will not have a very good career. Rather, if you become a very top kind of a performer under marketing, then also you can have a very good career. So that's what you have to decide. And honestly, I'm telling you, after a certain point, after a certain salary threshold, what matters for you is your peace of mind, whether you're enjoying the work or not, the entire process that you start enjoying. So that's why focus more on what are your skill sets. I've made a lot of videos on how you can understand what kind of work goes into each specialization. So choose on the basis of that. Finance is a lot about numbers, reading financial statements and stuff. Marketing is a lot about creativity, talking to different stakeholders, being that kind of an extrovert kind of a person. HR is also dealing with a lot of different stakeholders. So all of these different specializations require different skills. You have to understand which skills align with you and in which field you can be a top performer. Obviously, investment banking, private equity, consulting looks very fancy, but not everyone in these fields earn the same amount, because some of them are not able to climb up the ladder. Some of them end up doing some of the back end roles. So it's not the same kind of salary in the same firm, in the same role as well. Two different people can have very different salaries. So that's why choose the specialization where you are more suited for. Final question that I'll be taking for this video is MBA worth it in 2025? Is MBA from IIM worth it in 2025? See, the idea is if someone tells you yes or no in this particular question, then either they are inherently biased or they have some vested interest, because there cannot be a blanket answer to this. It depends on your background, on your profile, and on your interests as well. When I was 23, 24, if I had not gone for an MBA program, then probably I would have been in the same job, just progressing as per traditional timeline, and my salary would not have seen this kind of a jump because I was not really investing my time in upskilling or anything of that sort. So that's why MBA made complete sense for me. But at the same time, MBA only from tier 1 institutions made sense for me, because I was already at a salary. In 2 years I would already have been at a salary which you get from tier 2 kind of an institution. So definitely it made sense for me to only go for tier 1 institutions at that time. But suppose you are at an offer of 3 lakh, 4 lakh, 5 lakh job, and or you might not have a job as well. It's very much possible after undergraduation you have not got a job. So then it makes sense for you to go for an MBA program. If you get that initial jump above 10 lakh salary after an MBA program, obviously it makes sense for you. But on the sidelines, if you are upskilling yourself, if you're building something, especially if you want to do a business, you have already have an idea, you have started working on that, then it makes sense to invest time in your business or in other upskilling process as well, because you might get more learning rather than an MBA program if you have already decided that it's business that you're going to pursue in future. So definitely it depends completely on you, how motivated you are. If not an MBA program, what else will you be doing? Will you be wasting time like me just in the traditional job, or whether you would keep upskilling yourself and will be hustling and building something of your own? In case you fall in that category, then obviously MBA might not seem to be the right option for you. But in case you are in the other process, that is, you don't have a great background as of yet, and at the same time along with this you are not very inclined or not spending time in upskilling yourself, then probably going for an MBA program would be a great option. So that's it for this one. You can drop in your questions for the next part of this video. See you in the next one.